and we'll begin our beautiful practice together. Welcome, everyone. This is Recovery Dharma. My name is Julia. I'm one of the facilitators of the Spokane Sangha, and I am so delighted to be with you today. And I'd like to set the intention for our practice today by bringing forward a sentiment of loving kindness. And I just got this basket filled. This one is, I think, one made by, I think this one is mine. But you wrote on it, Lo. Is it yours? This is yours? This okay one? It's Lo's. All right. This is a good one. All right. Lo's. This is Lo's sentiment of metta. She wrote, "May you consider the magnitude of grace holding you. May you consider the magnitude of grace holding you." That's actually a really beautiful sentiment to settle into for what we're going to hear today from Thich Nhat Hanh. For anybody joining the Spokane Sangha for the first time today, on Wednesdays for the last several years, we've been reading from Zen masters. And today we are going to continue sharing this book called Go Slowly, Breathe, and Smile. This is a collection of sayings by Thich Nhat Hanh, and they are decorated by a beautiful artist. Her name is Roshane Ray. And if you have this book at home, we are on page 82 and 83. And before I begin this particular reading, I want to give a little bit of a preface. And my motivation for this preface is to make sure that we don't engage the habit of spiritual bypassing, which is one of the common ways that people spiritually bypass is saying things like bad situations that might happen in a person's life are just a person's response to it, or just a person's reaction to it. The event itself isn't bad. It's just our judgment or our response to it. No. There are bad things that happen, and that's okay. And we can make them worse based on our responses and our thoughts. But it's okay to say that if you've had something terrible happen to you, if a loved one was murdered, if your child died, if your dog died, these are very difficult things that happen as being human. And it's okay to let them be bad experiences. It's okay to have the feelings that we do. What's not okay is to react in dysregulated, careless, unpracticed ways. And so that's why we're practicing, is we are trying to come back to ourselves so that whatever we're experiencing, whatever reaction we're having, we don't put out into the world more harm, more negativity than is already there. So with that, friends, let's settle in. Settle into the body, settle into a posture that feels receptive and relaxed. If that means sitting up straight in a chair, great. If it means lying down and maybe allowing the body to rest, invite that to be your practice today. If it means going for a walk or washing some vegetables from your garden or giving your cat a bath or cleaning your bird cage, whatever it is, how show up to your practice in a way that feels authentic to you and invite it to be perfect, exactly as it is. Thich Nhat Hanh writes, "Our true nature is the nature of no birth and no death." Our true nature is the nature of no birth and no death. He comments on this by saying, the French scientist Lavoisier declared, "Nothing is born, nothing dies. Only when we touch this truth within ourselves can we transcend the fear of non-being, the fear of annihilation." This particular concept is not an easy one. So let's take a gentle approach to this by remembering that there is birth, we were all born, and there is death, we will all die. In very black and white terms, we're born, we live, we die. There's a beginning to our existence at birth, and there's an end to our existence at death. What this particular comment from Thich Nhat Hanh is trying to point to and encourage us to consider is that you are also alive in this time frame. Your consciousness is here. Your capacity to be aware in this time frame, in this window of your life, is real. However, your consciousness has existed since beginningless time. And in that way, there's no way to pinpoint your actual birth, nor is there a way to pinpoint the death of your consciousness. So, you, me, I'll put it into the first person, I and my consciousness came through my parents and their parents and their parents and their parents, and on and on and on it goes. And so we can use our wisdom and our knowledge to trace the evolution of ourselves all the way back to a time where the earth was forming billions of years ago. The universe was forming billions of years ago. Stars were coming forward and dying. Matter was compressing, heating, and cooling. So much mystery involved in all of that. And we have this notion of the Big Bang. And there's also this idea of what were the conditions to create the Big Bang. So before we know it, we can get into very trippy territory of the universe's existence. And so that's why we have to remember that our truest nature has existed since beginningless time. No birth. When were you actually born? Your physical birth is real and happened, but before that, for your consciousness, there's no way to know. Just as there's no way to know when your consciousness will die. And I often think about consciousness not in terms of even my DNA that I've passed down to my children, but my consciousness in the way that I connect to people, in the way that I love people, in the way that I make people angry and annoyed, in the way that I've just left my impression on life itself. The way that I have added to the heartbeat of life is also my consciousness. And so I live in many, many different people in the land that I tend. And those experiences go on and on and on. So does my consciousness die? When does it happen? When it fades from memory? There's a wonderful reading section in a book by John O'Donohue. I believe it's one of his Inner Landscape books. And what he reminds us is the place where we live, the trees, the grass, the pets, the birds. Our consciousness is where we live. It is in the way that we smile, it's the way that we walk, it's the impression that we leave on the earth. And so what John O'Donohue reminds us is that the landscape delights in seeing you, and the landscape misses you when you're gone. And so it's just a gentle reminder that we are in kinship with the earth itself. Its consciousness is our own. And so it's just a humble reminder to a mind that can get very fixed and very limited on this very short window of existence, that this is all that matters. I'm all that matters in this little window, when in reality, the consciousness of me has lived through many, 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 many people, many landscapes, many stars, and it will carry on through many, many, many people and landscapes, and in the soil itself, in the earth itself. So let's take a moment to just broaden our horizons of ourselves And remember that you are more than just your window of time here. And your true nature is the nature of no birth and no death. And see what stirs up for you. So we'll just take a few moments of silence and allow that to roll around in the mind. So good, friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go ahead and end our practice today with a dedication of merit. For anybody who's new to Buddhism or new to Recovery Dharma, or if it's been a minute, Uh, a practice within the Dharma, anytime we come into the presence of the three jewels of Buddhism, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, we always dedicate our practice and our time together. And it is an intentional way of recognizing that any benefit we have gained from this practice today, any new insight, any experience of restoration and joy, anything that we have gained here today, we don't keep for ourselves. We bring it out into the world. We share it. This is meant to be shared like a ripple in a still pond. So we'll go ahead and I'll sing for you this dedication that is chanted regularly several times a day up at the Abbey. And it's really a beautiful thing. So it goes like this. You can bring your hands to your heart if you'd like. And this is their dedication of merit. Due to this merit may we awaken to... How does it go? Wait a minute, Lo. Wait, how does it go? Wait. Okay. Due to this merit may we awaken to the state of Guru Buddha, that we may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their sufferings. May this precious Bodhi mind, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore. Friends, thank you so much for your practice today. May you aspire to gain access to the awakened state of the Buddha. May you fearlessly share that awakened state, that healed mind and open heart for the benefit of all who suffer. Have a wonderful day today. We'll see you next time. Namaste.